Okay, so basically, because Andrew Tate has become the most searched person on the internet and one of the most searched people of all time, obviously he's caught the attention of everyone. Joe Rogan's talking about him. Andrew Schultz is talking about him. People that I would have never have expected to be speaking about Andrew Tate are speaking about him. Everyone knows who he is now. I don't think there's a corner of the earth that you can go to where they don't know who Andrew Tate is. It's like the second coming of Jesus at this point. So now there's a campaign to have Andrew Tate removed from social media. So I'm going to read out some of the slides. I'll put them on the screen for everyone to see, and we'll break them down one at a time. You give me your opinions on some of these things. Andrew Tate is teaching young boys to be violent misogynists. It's time for social media platforms to do something. And now, before I move on to the next slide, do you think TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, wherever else should ban Andrew Tate from being on their platforms?
It's a good question. Do I think he should be banned? No, because everyone makes their own decisions in life. He can't be held responsible for what other people do. If I jump off a cliff, that doesn't mean someone else should do it. But at the same time, do I think that he is being a bad influence and brainwashing people? Yes.
You think it's brainwashing young men?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give my 2 cents on this at the end, after I've gotten through the slides.
Okay.
Next slide says, Andrew Tate is an influencer and former kickboxer whose violently misogynistic, homophobic videos have propelled him to global fame among young men and boys. He said that women are men's property and that rape victims should bear some responsibility for their attacks. Last month, he was Googled more than Donald Trump and Kim Kardashian combined.
Okay, so I think that him being Googled a lot is because it's more of a trend. Like, he's trending and, you know, it's everyone's just intrigued at his mindset to life.
Do you really think, because this is suggesting that it's young men that are listening to him, that are taking on board the things that he's saying. Do you think it's just young men? Or do you think there are some women that are agreeing with him? There's older men and older women that are also agreeing with him.
I think it's not just young men that are his audience. I definitely think it's pretty much just everyone at this rate. There's a lot of people who won't agree with him. There's a lot of people that will, because he's not the only person with that mindset in life. There has been a couple instances where I have myself agreed with Andrew Tate. I think that he really explains in depth his point of view, which is where you can understand sometimes why he's saying what he's saying without having to agree with him. But I do think that a lot of what he says is not right.
Do you think he's a misogynist and he's homophobic?
I don't think I've watched enough videos to judge on that, but from what I've seen, I don't know about the homophobic side because I haven't seen enough. I've seen him talk about certain situations, which is not implying that he's homophobic. It's just implying don't impose what you're doing on everyone else, sort of thing, in terms of children. I haven't seen him outright say I don't agree with people being gay or anything like that, so I can't comment too heavily on that.
I haven't seen him be homophobic at all. I can definitely see the arguments for misogynism. I can definitely see the arguments for that, and that's a discussion worth having. But in terms of being homophobic, I haven't seen him say anything homophobic. He might have used slurs here and there, but loads of people do that. It's not indicative of you being homophobic. So there's a widely circulated video where Andrew Tate, who is 35, explains that he prefers to date 18-year-olds because they have been through less dick than women in their 20s. He also says that it's easier to make an imprint on young girls. This is also known as grooming, according to this post.
The reason 18 and 19-year-olds are more attractive than 25-year-olds is because they've been through less dick. I'll say this right here on the fucking internet. I don't give a shit. People will sit there and go, oh, you can't say that. Yes, I can. A 19-year-old is more attractive than a 26-year-old woman, and I'll tell you why. Because that 26-year-old has talked to more guys, been to the club more times, been more places, been fucked and dumped more times, more arguments, more heartbreak, more bullshit, more mess for me to clean up. Whereas a 19-year-old might have had one guy from high school, just broke up, she's fresh, and I can fucking put my imprint on her and make her a good person, and without her having to go through all that detriment to learn about life.
So this is one of them videos where I can understand the point he's making, but I can't agree with it. Him where he's saying, about the older women having more experiences and it's more mess for him to clean up, that's not fair and that's not right, because having more experiences has already molded you to probably know how to deal with certain situations better. You're more mature, you've had more life experience, as opposed to someone who's young and has no clue, but then that's him wanting to be brainwashing someone, which is completely wrong. It's just, he's just got such a manipulative mindset.
I watched the Nelk Brothers podcast, which I think it was like 3 or 4 hours. I watched it on my drive. It was really interesting. You know, as I said before, Andrew Tate makes a lot of great points about things in life in terms of like making money, breaking out of the matrix, as he says, talking about like, you know, real estate and whatnot, or like different ways to make money. But the thing that really caught my attention was when he said that he would imprint on 18-year-olds. 18 is barely legal in most places. In the UK, the age of consent is 16, which I think is too low anyway. I think it should be 18 at least. I've been around 18-year-olds, and you know, I've worked with 18-year-olds. They're still very childish, and they look it as well. The girls still look childlike. There are some that mature, you know, when they look past their age. They're still 18 years old. I can't get on board with that comment. You can't call him a pedophile for that. I don't know if you'd say it's grooming, maybe, but at the very least, it's weird. It's really weird. Like, to say something like that because they've been through less dick. I understand that we've spoken about it before. We said that men do typically like women that are not as promiscuous as like some of the women that you find in the West now. But that comment about an 18-year-old is a bit crazy to me.
The thing is that you'll find though, in a lot of cultures and religions, like the women will marry from young, and the men will go for these women because they're pure, have not slept with anyone, they're virgins. So it's just knowing that that woman is yours and yours only. So I don't know if it's that sort of mindset behind it. It
is that mindset, and I completely get it. I do like a girl that has dealt with less men. I would prefer that ideally, but it's the age. The age is a problem for me. Like, there's a spider crawling on me. It's the age thing that really gets me. I can't get past that. 18-year-olds look like children as well. They still look like kids, and I just find that weird. Andrew Tate's 35, I'm 30. There's no way in hell I would ever date an 18-year-old. There's no way. That's too much of an age difference. Just having to deal with the immaturity of an 18-year-old, one. And then if you're dating someone, you're more than likely going to sleep with them. Looking down and seeing someone that looks like a child, even if they're not, even if the law can't get you on that comment really spun me when he said that. That really, really sent me. So that's one of the things where, like, if you were gonna really push back on Andrew Tate, you can't get him arrested for saying something like that, but it is creepy in my opinion. Then this post says much of his content is laughably ridiculous, like this video where he says he knows CPR but wouldn't perform it on a man because that would be gay.
Help him! No. Why? Because I ain't gay. Who knows CPR?
So that's
ridiculous.
Something that I would just say is absolutely ridiculous. That is a very, very, very terrible, narrow-minded, disgusting mindset to have. Like, you're actually sitting here saying practically you're going to let someone die. You don't want to give CPR because you're not gay. No one's going to think that you're gay if you're saving someone's life to start off with.
I don't believe him when he says that, by the way. I think that is actually like the cartoonish side of him. I think if one of his boys were down and out, Andrew Tate would 100. I mean, that's your like, say it's Tristan, his brother, one of the guys that's like always with him. If he was the only person there and they needed CPR, I can't imagine him letting his boys die. So things like that I don't take too seriously. It seems it's absurd. Like, I don't want to put my lips on another man's lips, but if it's saving someone's life, it's not gay. It's not a sexual act that you're performing. So that's why I don't believe him when he says that. I think he's talking shit.
Well, I want to say one of two things to that. The first thing I want to say is this is the point that people are trying to make of this content should not be put out online because other people are going to watch that, and then it could be detrimental and brainwashing to the young males who watch it. To start off with. Number two, the second thing to that is I feel like sometimes, not saying Andrew Tate is gay, but you know, sometimes when people are really like, I can't do that, it's gay, I can't do that, that's gay, you think maybe that's because deep down they could be gay and they don't want to admit it.
There's nothing that
because a normal person would not say that.
That's why I think it's tongue-in-cheek. I don't think he would actually do it. If one of his brothers, people that are really close to him, his dad maybe, you know, if his dad was still alive, someone that he loves needed CPR and he was the only person that I do believe he would.
So he's just clout chasing by saying that?
I don't even think it's clout chasing. I think he's literally just he's trolling people. He knows how to get a reaction out of the internet. It's worked.
But that is clout chasing because he wants the attention.
Well, I suppose
keeping
it is
his
clout
name
chasing.
relevant.
Yeah,
people are going to be talking about it.
Yeah,
like
people won't stop talking about Andrew Tate. Everyone's talking about him. So what he's doing is working, and I think videos like that, people shouldn't take them too seriously because it's not gay to save someone's life. It's gay if you walk up to another man and you sexually kiss him. If you put your lips on another man to pump air into him, it's not gay at all. So I wouldn't take that seriously. The next slide says, but underneath the absurdity of Andrew Tate are the darker, more insidious consequences of the influence he has on young boys. Andrew Tate is not just another edgy misogynist on the internet, he's also one in real life. He's been under investigation for sex trafficking and rape in Romania, where he lives. In one video, he explained that 40% of his reason for moving to Romania was because Romanian police were less likely to pursue sexual assault allegations than police in the US. Personally, I have not heard him say anything about the police being less likely to pursue sexual assault charges. I did hear him say that in Romania and Eastern European countries, they're less likely to look into corruption because everyone is corrupt there.
I saw a video before and it was someone recording and you could hear Andrew Tate in the background, like literally being really rude to a female. And then people in the comments were saying, oh, this video was acting, it's not real. But how do we know that it's not? And if it is real, it was really bad. Like, I'm sure he hit her or he was threatening to hit her or something like that.
He hit her.
You don't see him hit her, but you hear noises.
Hello, Andrew. You're the man of the day.
I'm always the man of the day for some reason.
Yeah, this one is a quite serious reason, and I would like to ask you a few minutes to talk to me.
Serious reason. It's not a serious reason. It's bullshit.
That's not what the police says.
If the police thought I did something wrong, why am I here on the street?
Yeah, that's true as well. I want to ask you, is that true that you sequestered an American girl in your flat here in Pipera?
Listen, I ask girls to leave. I do not try and make them stay. It's absolutely not true. I can't talk about the case because it's still pending, but I'll give you a very short version. Some girl was at the house. I saw her once. Many girls come for parties, etc. Her boyfriend caught her there, and she told a bunch of lies to her boyfriend, and her boyfriend called the police. It's stupid.
How did an American girl arrive in Bucharest?
I don't know, a plane, I guess. I don't think she swam, so I guess she took a plane.
Did you pay for the plane?
No. And then her stupid boyfriend made some phone calls to some embassy, some bullshit. I'm a big man with big problems.
Did she have the phone all the time with her?
Of course she did. And she's not even pretty. This girl's average. She's ugly. I don't have time for this bullshit. Like, I'm a big man with big problems. I'm doing important things. Some girl and her boyfriend made a stupid phone call.
Put your seatbelt back on. No, but I think the Western world, there's something that very much angers me about the Western world. I don't feel comfortable here. I don't like the way it functions and operates. I think it's the most corrupt, disgusting, degraded societies on earth. There's nothing left besides money and corporate agenda. And I like living in countries where, one, there's some kind of moral fiber beyond the dollar, and two, I like living in countries where corruption is accessible for everybody. So in Romania, where I happen to live, it's the most Christian country on earth. There's churches everywhere. People see a higher power beyond simply just money and government. They believe in God. That's another reason I like spending time in Dubai. It doesn't matter if it's Allah or God or whatever you want to call him. I like that. And also, I like Eastern Europe as a whole because corruption's far more accessible. I find it offensive that a police officer in England will stop me for speeding and then refuse to take a bribe and pretend that no, but I'll tell you why. Because he'll sit there and go, no, this is the law and order, and pretend that the law means something and fuck me over. But if you're a billionaire or if you're Boris Johnson, you can go to Epstein's Island, you can fucking throw parties during COVID, you can do whatever the fuck you want, right? So the whole idea of law and order is a lie. The whole idea of it's bullshit. It's just about if you're high enough, you can throw it all away. I'd rather be in a society where if I'm in Prague and they stop me for speeding and they say, bro, you were speeding. Oh, here's $50. All right, cool. Bye. If corruption exists, which it does, let us all play. Why do only they get to play?
I mean, what he said is not wrong.
Yeah, he's talking facts there.
I mean, this whole thing about the sexual assault thing and him saying that he's more likely to escape it and that's why he goes and lives in Romania. I'm going to call bullshit on that unless I'm proven otherwise. I've never heard him say something like that. I've only ever heard Andrew Tate say that he's more than happy to take part in corruption because the elites take part in it and he thinks that everybody should get a slice of the pie. It's kind of hard to argue with that. I mean, you drive down the road in London, you park your car somewhere, you accidentally park your car on a line, you get a £50 fine. You go 5 miles per hour over the speeding limit, you get a fine. You do very, very few things in the UK, you can lose your license. Not to mention the mountain of laws that we have over here that the Prime Minister and people that control our country do not adhere to. So Andrew Tate's take on corruption, I don't see what the problem is with that. I don't know what this whole like him trying to escape sexual assault in Romania. And as far as the human trafficking stuff goes, the investigation is pending. But as far as I'm aware, if the FBI has reason to believe that you have been taking part in sex trafficking, I really don't think you can fly back and forth to America, to the UK, back to Romania, and to wherever else he's going.
Yeah, but if there's not enough evidence, then they have to.
I'm pretty sure they keep you in the country. I might be wrong with that. Someone can fact check me, but if you're under investigation for human sex trafficking, I'm pretty sure they're not going to let you leave the country. That seems a bit bizarre. If you were under investigation for murder, they wouldn't let you fly around the country, right? Fly to different countries. If you were under investigation for trafficking drugs, they wouldn't let you out of the country, right? There would be some sort of surveillance on you. So why would he be allowed to move freely, go to London to do a podcast, go to America to do a podcast, go back to Romania? It doesn't really make sense.
Because maybe because of all the corruption.
Yeah, but he's saying that he can get away with corruption in Romania because it's widespread. Everyone's doing it. Everyone's got a piece of the pie. But in America and the UK, that's reserved for the elites. So in theory, he shouldn't be able to move back and forth between these places.
Maybe he's elite now.
Maybe.
Most searched man.
That's true.
Do you know what I mean? Maybe he's gotten himself to that status now where he can just...
Yeah, well, he claims he's got more money than God. So if he does have that kind of money, then...
Does he actually say that?
I mean, he said he's got enough money where he doesn't have to worry again. And apparently Hustlers University, which is his online school, brings in at least like $3 million US dollars a month. So
I believe that he's got a lot of money, yeah.
Andrew Tate has expressed numerous times his belief that women are property. Videos like this are racking up billions of views on TikTok.
Do you think that women are property?
So I think my sister is her husband's property. I'm not saying anything new. I'm not saying anything which is really, truly even controversial. The whole world agreed that the woman belongs to the man when she decides to give herself to a man.
Do you think women are the property of men?
This is what I think is a very, very big problem. And I think the person who's created this post, this sort of stuff is what it should be relating to, because young men of this generation are now going to grow up with the same mindset, thinking that women are men's property. Absolutely not. No one can ever tell me that a woman is a man's property, especially not in 2022, where a lot of women are now doing things for themselves and not depending on or relying on a man. Even if she was, she's still not the man's property. Do you know what I mean? But no, absolutely not.
I agree. I don't think a woman is a man's property. I think, like I said, I don't think that men or women should be talking about each other like this. I don't think it's good. It's not gonna like push society in the right direction to be talking about someone as if they're property. You can say certain things about your partner, whereas in like, you know, you kind of belong to each other, but like in a romantic sense, or even if you've like got a casual girlfriend, you could say she's like, that's my girl.
Oh yeah, you're mine.
But not in the sense that she's like a PlayStation, you know, like the way he's wording it. I don't know if he's being like hyperbolic or if he's trying to get a reaction out of everyone, but I think he's intentionally wording it to drive people up the wall, because that makes people search for it more. I think that like if you had a boyfriend and someone said that's my girl, that it's okay to say that. It might sound like they're saying that's my property. It's a different thing. I know it sounds like semantics. It's kind of a hard thing to argue. The only problem with I think what Andrew Tate is saying is that when it's the other way around and the girl says that, he has an issue with that.
You know what it is because Andrew Tate has this mindset of, he seems like a very, very controlling man. Like, I'm the man and I provide all this and that, so you have to listen to what I say, basically. He's one of them ones, so it's like,
which is fine, you know, if that's how he wants to live his life.
I don't think that's fine, Michael.
No, but everyone has the freedom to do what they want. If he wants women to obey him and there's women that are happy to obey him, I don't have a problem with that, as long as he's not punching them up. Yeah,
but the problem I think is that some women probably won't be happy to, but he's so manipulative and narcissistic that he will make them believe and feel that they are less than and they have to listen to him, and that's the problem. You don't want loads of men to get to that stage where they treat and make women feel that way.
That's true. In Andrew Tate's case, if a woman felt that way now, I would ask her if like she's okay in the head, because like he's got enough content on the internet to last a lifetime. You know what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah.
If you get with Andrew Tate now and you're surprised at what happens, whose fault is that? Andrew Tate's views and his perspective on the world is out there for all of us to see.
Yeah.
Like I said, he's been more searched than Donald Trump and Kim Kardashian put together.
Like his video where he's like basically saying in his interview that he done, where he's like, if a girl wants to go on a girl's holiday, she's not allowed. Why is she doing that? But if he wants to do that, it's okay.
Yeah.
Life doesn't work that way. And just because you're a man, you shouldn't feel like it's okay to even try and implement them rules in place.
I mean, again, it's his prerogative. He can do what he wants, just like women can do whatever they want. I don't agree with it personally. I think it's a bit mad, but
Slap, grab, choke, shut up, bitch, sex.
He's explaining in the video how to handle a girl, but That clip is a little bit taken out of context. I've seen the whole clip. He's talking about if you have a girl in bed and say like you've pissed her off, right? Let's say a guy's pissed you off and you've just had like sex with him and you're sleeping next to him. He pulls out a machete, right? Because the people in the video are saying, what if she pulls up on you with a knife? And he grabs the knife and he's like, no girl's going to be able to take me out, blah, blah, blah. All you got to do is slap.
Have you ever seen a woman try and do anything competently? Like, imagine a girl pick this up. If I pick this up, you ain't fucking with me. I'd have my left hand, I'd still like jab, I'd fucking swing low, take your fucking knee out. You ain't gonna see it coming. What would a woman do? Slap the machete, slap her in the face. One hand, machete, and then backhand. I perfected this in pimp school. When I got my PhD, we had to practice if a girl comes at you, you cheater, you're cheating. It's bang out the machete, boom in her face, and then grip her up by the neck. Like, shut up, bitch! Her panties get wet. The machete's on the floor, her panties are all wet. And you go, fuck her. That's how it goes. Slap, slap, grab, choke, shut up, bitch, sex.
That's the full context of the video. I don't know if you should be saying that. Obviously, if a girl pulls a knife on you, you do what you got to do to protect yourself.
Yeah.
But at the end of the video, he says, shut up, bitch, and then sex. If a girl pulled a knife on me, we're not having sex. Like, she's going to prison.
Yeah, but this is the thing. This is just that mindset that he has, that he just thinks that he just has this mindset of just fuck bitches and men being in control of everything.
But this is what I mean. Like, the whole thing is about a woman pulling a knife on you. And that's why I'm not taking this seriously. Like, if a girl pulled a knife on you, you're not going to then have sex with her. That's why I think a lot of the things he says are tongue-in-cheek. They're ridiculous. That's a ridiculous thing to say.
It
right?
is. It's just, he just strikes me as someone that just wants attention. He loves the attention he's getting, and it's all just feeding and boosting his ego. And then this status that he's now getting from this is causing women to go to him, and then it's just like a little like rat wheel. Like, it just keeps. Do you know what I'm saying?
But Andrew Tate did say, he released a video on his own YouTube channel, and he said the best way to beat him is to stop talking about him. But people can't stop talking about him.
That's the issue.
So he obviously knows what he's doing. Videos of Andrew Tate have been viewed 11.6 billion times on TikTok alone. Many of them violate community guidelines but aren't being taken down. Why? Because views generate profit for TikTok, so they will continue pushing these videos onto the feeds of young men, regardless of the real-world consequences that online misogyny can have. I saw a TikTok from this girl who said, Andrew Tate is making my boyfriend hate me, and it broke my heart into pieces. Okay, I have a slight pushback on this post. Say what you want about Andrew Tate, but TikTok is full of degeneracy that gets pushed onto children. It's literally an app that sexualizes children, right? We've all seen the stuff that gets posted on TikTok. If you're going to ban Andrew Tate because he is pushing online misogyny and he's pushing these dangerous views, you're going to have to take down the whole of TikTok, because TikTok is an app for degenerates. There's no other way to put it. There are good... I'm not insulting you directly. I used to be on TikTok, but the large majority of people on TikTok are degenerates. They put out content that is harmful to children on a daily basis. They put out content that is harmful to men. They put out content that is harmful to women. So if that's the mentality that we're going to have, which I'm not saying is a wrong one, then you're going to have to take down the whole app.
I do believe that we do live in a corrupt world, so that will never happen.
Yeah, so I can't agree with this. I don't think they should take him off TikTok, personally. I actually think there's people out there doing much more harm than Andrew Tate.
Absolutely, I agree with you on that one.
Yeah, and they're still on Twitter, they're still on TikTok, they're still on Facebook. Let's not forget that terrorist groups are still posting stuff on Twitter, but they don't violate the community guidelines, but they removed a sitting president from Twitter.
This is it, like, you're saying that, but it's like, obviously these apps don't feel like he's doing anything worth taking him off for. Same way they're not taking anything else, and this is just the opinions of probably sensitive women or sensitive people, should I say, that are getting upset about.
But it's just the mentality that they would attack Andrew Tate, and maybe they have grounds to do so, but there are literally thousands of radical feminists that push idiotic ideas onto young impressionable women about men, and they're not taken down.
Yeah.
There's tons of people that are posting borderline pedophilic things on Twitter and TikTok. We've all seen them. We've seen hate groups towards men online. So if this is the mentality we're taking, then why doesn't everyone have this same energy for all the things that are harmful?
I think it's because of how popular he is,
Possibly.
how much he's being streamed.
Possibly, but if people really care about how the minds of young people are being affected, this is a stance that you should take on everything then.
Yeah.
Not just on Andrew Tate. If we're going to do this to Andrew Tate, we have to do it to everyone else. And if we don't do it to Andrew Tate, we just leave it as a free-for-all. I personally think that you leave people up so you can identify them and you can beat their ideas with better ideas. Banning people from social media platforms just pushes them into a dark corner of the internet, sends all of their fans over there with them, and they potentially get more radicalized rather than keeping it out in the open and beating their ideas with better ideas. Andrew Tate's popular for a reason. Let's say that 11.6 billion views come from like 4 million, 5 million men. Do you really think all of them are misogynist? Or do you think he's saying some things that might resonate with them? Even with young women. Women that we know, right, have listened to Andrew Tate and said, yeah, I agree with that. So rather than banning him and going through the same stuff that we've gone through with Trump, with Alex Jones, with all of these people that you take over these platforms that you don't agree with, just beat their ideas with better ideas.
But we don't help because we're here talking about Andrew Tate.
Yeah, because I don't want Andrew Tate banned. Just like I don't even want these feminists banned that I disagree with, because it's good to have those stupid opinions out there so you can beat them with better ones, better ideas. We know what happens when violent internet misogyny goes unchecked. We saw it with Hunter Moore, who popularized revenge porn in 2012. We see it with incel forums, which have been churning out mass shooters at an alarming rate. We don't need a documentary in 10 years about the rise and fall of Andrew Tate and how we should have known better. We do know better. Hold social media platforms accountable for giving the loudest microphones to the most dangerous people. I agree. But I don't think Andrew Tate's the most dangerous person. The most dangerous people on the internet are not Andrew Tate.
I don't agree with that last one, because how can they be held accountable when it's all of the public who are boosting it and making it relevant? The social media platform is just a social media platform that everyone can use.
Yeah, it's a public platform that is free for everyone to use.
Exactly.
If you don't like what someone's saying, you beat their ideas with better ideas. That's it. This whole banning people because you don't like what they have to say.
Yeah.
This is a very like left-leaning idea. They don't like people that disagree with them. The people that you're ignoring are doing more harm to the youth. And we don't have to say specifically who they are, but we know they're doing more harm to the youth than Andrew Tate will ever do. So if you're going to take this stance, that's all I really got to say about that. If you're going to take this stance, then you got to take this stance with all of them. The entire TikTok app is going to have to be shut down. I'm sorry, Sabi.
Yeah,
Your
but
entire
I
account
don't
will
want
have to
that
be
to
taken
happen.
down. TikTok is a mess of an app. We've seen what's on there. There's some good creators, like your stuff is motivational stuff.
Yeah.
But there are kids on there that have been sexualized. There's people on there preaching things that are insane. We don't need to name names, but we know exactly what I'm talking about. There are people on there that have been doing far more harm to kids than Andrew Tate. And on top of that, you have terrorist groups that have had active Twitter accounts that have been kept up. So take care of the actual problems first, and then maybe we can get on board with that. Do you have anything you want to say?
No, I just echo what you're saying.